this is just a demonstration of how I get my sound and the atmosphere in Struborg. And so it's all started with this, the metal zone. That's the same metal zone I used on A Tragic Journey Towards a Light 30 years ago. It's the same one, still goes. And for this demonstration, I've just got it going through the acoustic modeler, which shapes the sound, which is quite nice. And I'm just going through this section here, low, everything was pretty low settings to kind of replicate a sound that you're familiar with, a sound that would, in one particular person said, it sounded like air. So, wow, air, like that. Yeah, like it's not very heavy at times, and it's very light and atmospheric and very earthy and very much mimicking, the elements of the atmosphere. Sound like that. So when I'm mucking around with the metal zone pedal, for example, so I've got a sound that I sort of like. So, and here's how, and this is a fuzzy sound that I have. It's and I've always liked the PV amp sound too. On A Tragic Journey, oh yes, I'm pretty sure I had a PV amp that I borrowed, a little practice amp, and I love the sound that had with the metal zone. I think it was, but the thing is I can't remember what guitar I had, and that'd be a factor too. So when I opted for getting my own PV, I had that in mind, that sound that I really wanted. I mean, I could have it going through more pedals, reverb, delay, chorus and whatnot. I'm just stripping right down to this sound that I have. And it's also to do with the strumming technique. So between, mostly the metal zone and the strumming technique is what gives it that fuzzy circular sound that's very airy and light and atmospheric. So. And I make up my own chords. I mean, I can play chords, and on a good day I might know the name of some of them, I don't know, whatever. Like, I can play bar chords and open chords and your traditional chords on acoustic guitar and whatnot. But for black metal, it's like for me, it's like fucking forget everything. Unless I was to sit there and work out a couple of songs I like, and it is traditional, the way it's played. And I still have traditional parts. But I like to make up stuff that sounds just really dark and dissonant, discorded, tritone, quad tritone, all that kind of stuff, and just put it together. And if it sounds really ugly and depressing and dark, otherworldly, it conjures, some really good landscapes in my head when I'm working on it. I think, well, that's all right then. And then therefore it takes over playing music. I don't care too much about playing music, like playing riffs and shit like that, but I like that too. And on a new album I'm going to work on this year, I want some parts that will be very metal, because I do like metal. And I suppose in my side project, Cromlech, there's some very metal moments in that, even though it's very lo-fi and muddy sounding. But yeah, and I'm also going to resurrect that project too, because I would like to play some black metal and some death metal this year, as well as the black bass stuff, alongside and other stuff. and it's good with some like primitive chords to string out all the strings to add even more dissonance. Sometimes you might want a tighter sound and keep the chord tight, but it's good to ring it all the way out. Sometimes, you know. That's nonsense now. So that's just sort of going off into absolute God knows what tangent. But yeah, I sort of just like, sometimes I use bar chords as well. Here's the first original song I ever wrote. It wasn't a black metal song. It was like a jingly jangly song, if I can remember it. Inspired by Sid Barrett. So let's see if I can remember it. Here we go. But like I had it going well together, and it was like real bluesy and shit, and yeah, that's the first time I tried to play in ages. But it's like this jingly jangly song, and I'll work it out properly and play it sometime. But anyway, but I can play you a proper song if you want, by Struborg. Somnambulistic Nightmares from Navaria. It's from that one. I think it is. So the first riff of Somnambulistic Nightmares goes like this. And then just E, and it's just 1 2 1 2 3 4. So the bass line is that, and it's done with a keyboard. It can be done with bass guitar or the keyboard, and it's just 2 notes all the way through, chugging along, and it builds up. The variation of the riff occurs when the keyboards first kick in. just noticed with the chugger, sometimes I might go 3 times instead of 2. So that's, it's just, more, it's more variance and nuance in it than what I first thought. So there could be a little bit of variance in that too. But that's pretty much how it goes. So that completes the sections of the song. Yeah, so what do you think, Fanny? Not impressed? Huskies are never impressed. Well, you're not impressed by me. Fair enough, matey. So that's how many times it plays for, I can count. So it's just the second string down, 2, 3, and 5. Just strum really quickly. Just drill. What's it called? Drill strumming. I don't know what it is. Whatever. And then and that's why the chugger's going, the drum and the vocals and all that. And then the next part is the end part, and it fades out, and it's still got the chugger behind it. The lead becomes the full lead. Then after that, I'll just play this a couple times, or 4 or something. So goes for a bit longer, but that's pretty much it. That's how the song goes on guitar. And you could have the bass line, you could have keyboard doing the bass line, with the vocals and drums, and it's a pretty easy song to sort of jam on. It never occurred to me sort of like the chugger and everything, and the whole production, and I played it to a friend, a long time friend of mine, said, "Oh, it sounds like Celtic Frost." I was like, "Yeah? Oh, wow, cool." It just goes to show how much the Celtic Frost influences it's been in my music, even mostly in Crucify in those days. We were massively into Celtic Frost and Countermass and all those kind of bands. So to hear this, even though I try to be very original in my music, I like to be sometimes conventional and play riffs which are a little bit more conventional like that too from time to time. And therefore, yeah. Oh, I'll show some of my natural influence. Oh, I didn't even realise it went in the top. I mean, I knew today, but not on the post. We won't tell. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. There's everything done. Yeah. Okay. So this is the guitar I'm using at the moment. I've been using this since Solitude. The album Solitude. So, what, 2006? Perhaps, I can't remember, around that time. Got it. It's a lag rock sound, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a nice matte finish on it. It's got the Throbbing Gristle sticker. Had a spare sticker, thought, yeah, why not? Looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a nice sound, action and everything. I need to get new strings, or do I? It still goes, still plays. I've got no problem with it. I don't care about things like that too much, Especially when a strumming style, it doesn't matter so much. Unless I break, of course. But the album Ghost Woodlands, I used an Ibanez on that one. So that's the only album that I've used an Ibanez on. And that's got a nice tone too. Unique tone to it. Before that, everything would have been the Elite. I had an Elite guitar from the late 60s, early 70s, which is a Les Paul copy. Big frame on it. You know, it has a nice cold sound. You've got to have tuned quite a lot. But on the Tragic Journey, I think I borrowed a guitar. On that one, I must have borrowed one. But yeah, but this is the only one I sort of bought myself. Still go. I like it. It goes. It was affordable at the time, you know, and it's still a nice guitar to play. I don't need you know, big names like BC Rich, like a BC Rich Warlock and a Marshall stack, because I probably won't even get the sound that I'm after anyway. So yeah, I believe these kind of brands, you know, I just use that's how I get the sound, you know. It doesn't need to be too those kind of, you know, bands give you a fuller sound or more clarity or hear more of the notes. But this, it's all pretty much a blur and about creating. It's about tweaking the atmosphere. It's just like get that nice tone to work with, you know. And I'm looking forward to composing a lot of new stuff, whether it be that continuous strumming for the atmospheric kind of stuff, whether it be, you know, misanthropic black metal or DSBM. But also, I'm going to have, I would like some symphonic sort of black metal, slower symphonic black metal style riffs and drum patterns and synths go with it too, which are more melodic and more romantic sounding and have more feeling atmosphere, as well as the cold-hearted stuff. And also I want some really brutal moments too, like some full-on like brutal war metal, flat out just blasting moments as well. So I have a lot of dynamics in there. That's sort of the idea. And if I can pull it off, even maybe some like old school like thrash, like 80s style riffs, if I can pull it off. Who knows? Because I mean, I love all that stuff, and I grew up with it anyway. I've never sort of shared that part of, you know. I mean, I can, by having sort of a break from black metal, I can go back to it and appreciate it a lot more, just by having a bit of a break and then go, and instead of just being in for guitar and all that, it's like now I enjoy playing the instrument again, and I'm really looking for. And it's a good, and you know, it's a good time, you know, and for my kind of headspace, and let a lot of really negative shit out throughout the sort of working on the project throughout the year. It's going to really help for my head, totally. Yeah, it's be really good. Oh, we have to explain. See, with Siberian Huskies, they need to be on the lead, otherwise, bye-bye doggy. So in this next section, just for a bit of fun, is guess the classic black metal song. There you go.